Hey Zoomers, welcome back to World Zoom. So happy you could join me again today. Appreciate the views and comments and subscriptions on the last couple videos. Been fun coming back, just doing a couple videos. So lots of requests for a Vitaly update over in the Philippines. So I was able to find some information. Some of this is not so easy to find. You know, it sort of fell down a rabbit hole, and there's not much out there going around about him. But I was able to find some details and some quotes from the new Bureau of Immigration commissioner. So we'll start right in. Check out this before and after photo. I mean, he's pretty much lost. I mean, he was definitely pretty heavy into the anabolic steroids, and obviously he doesn't have that in the prison, but that looks like a 30, 40, even 50-pound weight loss. And, you know, tough sledding over there for him right now from before when he went in. But here's a quick recap so you can come all the way up to speed. Then I'll do it quickly because you guys know a lot of this. In April, he was arrested in Manila, numerous different charges, most of it like vexation, and but it was from a whole host of different people, and the charges probably seemed odd to you and I, but it's just the way the legal system works over there. We have some odd complaints and charges that can happen in the U.S. as well. On June 11th, then, he sort of joined the big leagues when he was transferred to a real prison at the Bureau of Jail Management, if you remember that. Really sort of unusual to be pulled out of the Bureau of Immigration holding facility and moved to an actual prison before sentencing or before a resolution, something that doesn't happen very often. In fact, I've never seen it happen. It may with, may have certain cases that I just don't know about it. So that was a major turn in the case from April to June 11 when he was in just a regular Bureau of Immigration holding facility, the warden's care, and then to the real prison. Now, he was able to pay a 50,000 peso application fee for bail and a 500,000 peso under the table bribe to be able to get, out of jail, or he was going to be released. When they brought him up to the front to be released, his father was still there at the time. He was rearrested after he paid the bail, so he's in for 5+K. U.S., and he gets arrested again and taken back to the BIWF, which is the Bureau of Immigration Wardens facility. He was taken back to, at that point. And the commissioner at that time had something to say. Now, since we've been on our third commissioner, since all this has been happening, there was a real clampdown in corruption and incompetence in the Bureau of Immigration. They're on commissioner number 3. He came out with a statement then at that time when they picked him up and brought him back. What is his name? Viado. Yeah. Joel Viado. So he's the third guy in charge since all this happened. He said he is undesirable, meaning Vitaly, and he will not be allowed to roam around in the Philippines while this is being established or he is being deported. He said he has an ongoing deportation case and he will not be deported until his local cases are resolved and his sentence, if any, is served. So they came out playing pretty big hardball, right? And said, okay, we have given you bail, but we're not going to allow you to be able to roam around. You can't leave. You're going to have to stay in the warden's facility, which, believe me, is much better than the Bureau of Jail Management in the real prison with all the Filipinos with just a few foreigners about. So unfortunately, again, for Vitaly, most of these are unfortunate for him. a new presentation came forward to the court about a case in South America a few years ago where he physically assaulted a young lady. Apparently, they had photos of her bruised and swollen face and an admission by Vitaly, saying that he was under the influence of drugs and had in fact assaulted her. That case was solved out of court. There were no charges. He paid her. And then was released in South America. So in and of itself, that is not going to have an impact on his court case in the Philippines, but certainly the authorities can use that to establish character, right? And so I was able to find out that charges have actually been filed in actual court in the Philippines. The Regional Trial Court, Branch 153, is going to hear Vitaly's case. Initially starting with just vexation is going to be the first case that hits there. Two problems with this for Vitaly is, number one, it's extraordinarily slow because there's really no way to grease the wheels. Once you have a chance, once you've gone past a conversation with the police and you've gone past a chance to settle this with immigration, pretty much your case or your chance of being able to solve this is done by the time it gets to the courts. You may argue or you may believe that the court system is unjust or corrupt in the Philippines. I haven't seen that to be the case. I really haven't. I mean, getting there is unbelievably bad, right? When you meet with the first couple groups. But once it finally gets to the trial court or gets in front of the judge, there's no way out. There's no one you can meet with outside of the folks that are going to testify or the ones that brought it to the court to begin with. So it has in fact been filed in the court. No date has been set for the initial hearings. They're in the discovery phase at this point. This is the opportunity for Vitaly's father, mom, lawyers to be able to meet with a couple of folks that refuse to let this thing lie and are bringing this forward for arbitration. So even saying that, let's say they go to, they get to this one main lady. You probably saw the video where he snuck up on her, said, "I'm going to rob you." She got really scared, dropped her purse, started to walk away quickly. Happened to be a wealthy area in one of the wealthiest areas. So she was a prominent person, or at least upper middle class in BGC. And that's just not something you do. I mean, the influence that a private citizen with money has in the judicial system and the legal system in the Philippines, just like here in America or anywhere else. You know, when you have money, you can be a mover and shaker. And she's not letting go with this, and she's going to continue to press it. So some of the other things that he did in BGC, the folks like the security guard attempting to take his gun, took his motorcycle, took his cover for his officer's uniform. Some of those guys were not from BGC, and so the complaints, once the prosecutors and the judges, those folks found them, were actually levied in different spots all around Luzon. I don't think there's anything outside of Luzon that I know of yet. But what it requires is a review of each one of those cases. So let's say they went to Pampanga. Well, who knows where they went in Luzon, where these cases are. But Vitaly's lawyer has to find them, and then they have to contact them and have that whole background check and say, is this really the right person? Did it happen this way? So you don't just get the regional trial court in Branch 153. And by the way, that's a fairly high trial court for this level of type of things. Just like in the U.S., the Philippines has levels of different courts. I would not have expected unjust vexation to land itself in a regional trial court versus one of the lower level courts. So I hope that's clear. They've got to find all the courts that all these have been levied against him and the charges that are upcoming. They have to contact the courts and provide that information. If they can get that resolved and have her withdraw her charges or meet and have a plea agreement. You can't have a plea agreement where you're just deported. You pay a fine and you're actually deported. It's just getting to that point, right? They've already had him for 6 months, and that's a long time in a Philippine jail with no food or no medication and, water, everything you have to provide for yourself. So I can guarantee you he's suffering. But those are really the updates that I know at this point. He's still in the warden's facility. Official charges have been filed. No bail is going to be granted. He can't leave until it comes to fruition. And so, we could easily be at a year. You look at Bama, for example, Barry Jordan. This is 3 years later, 3 years, and he's still there. Waiting in a holding facility, the same place Vitaly is, he's there. And so when you get caught up in there, whether you have money or not, it's difficult to wind yourself out of that situation. So, here in the U.S., you're arrested on a Thursday, you're deported on a Friday, but it just doesn't work that way in the Philippines. So let's hope I'm not a fan of his. I can't say I've ever been a fan of his. I saw his videos before he got in trouble. He's a difficult guy to like, but I don't want anyone to be in this kind of situation where you're obviously making a prank and, your health's at risk when you get yourself. He should have known better. He definitely should have. So anyway, I hope that helps. That's the update I know about Vitaly. I'll be back tomorrow with something else from World Zoom. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.